Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibe or ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Previously on Heroes of the Hydian Way, Koba, Skip, Kesh, and Hillary began the long slog up a mostly abandoned high-rise that was the stomping grounds of a spy from the Clone Wars. Word had reached them that he knew Ward during the war, and that he might have the information they needed to find the crystal that brought them to Cato Nemoidia. Missing stairs, hidden pressure plates, and clouds of gas hindered their travel, but still they pressed upward. After all of the people they'd already met, all of the challenges they faced on Jorah, maybe this being had the answers. But can they even find him? Join them this week as they sense the scene.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Fantasy Flight Games' Force and Destiny system. We're using the Chronicles of the Gatekeeper adventure, as developed by Tim Cox and Max Brook. This is Act 2, Episode 17, and I'm Ben, the GM for this adventure.
I'm Koba, the Doug Sentinel Investigator / Sheehan expert. I also moonlighted as an archaeologist once. That's how I knew to do that little maneuver.
Oh, I didn't realize you had a third spec.
And it was in a previous life. You know, you're not the only person who brought a character from a different campaign.
Oh, do you believe in previous lives? Because I'm not quite sure that I do, but I think that it's possible. It's fun to think about what we would have been in a previous life.
Hired gun mercenary soldier.
Yeah, explorer, archaeologist.
/ enforcer.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, but you could have been anything, Hillary. You could have been, I don't know, a horse. You know? Doesn't have to be about what you do for a living.
I'm Hillary, whatever these folks say. The sage lead teacher, also a Lord High Lord, a singer, joke teller, stage manager, choreographer briefly. But really, I was originally trained to take care of the family books. But accountancy is so dull.
Well, what do you think you might have been in a past life? Something big?
Why does it have to be about size?
Maybe you're being punished for transgressions in your previous life.
Perhaps, Skip, I was an Exogorth.
Wow.
I know I've already talked some, but I'm Kesh, the Trandoshan Mystic Seer. And, I'm sure I was just, like a Barabel or some other just very similar thing in a past life.
Do you miss your tail?
Nope. Tail's dumb. Very content not having one.
I have a feeling that somewhere, someone is thinking them's fighting words, but it's not me.
Probably just some ridiculous Solonian I once knew, also in a past life.
Let's see. I'm pretty happy with where I am in this current life, being a sort of hermity adjacent seeker. But
I thought the point of a hermit was that they weren't really adjacent to much.
I didn't realize you had neighbors.
I think probably in a past life, if it sort of makes sense that you have to do things differently, then probably I was somebody that was really uptight or something. And that way, when it all, recycled or whatever, then if there are powers that be or whatnot, they were like, well, that one right there, that one needs to learn how to have fun. So now I do. Lesson learned.
To learn more about our heroes, we get one task and another question, and it is now Hillary's turn to ask.
Cash.
Yes.
If we survive this, which I believe we all intend to, what are you going to do next?
Probably look for the last crystal. Wherever that takes us.
I mean, technically I meant after the crystals, but fine. Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. You meant after this whole quest is over with, right?
Yeah, you couldn't see me gesturing widely at the whole.
No, I guess I can see you gesturing widely. You're always doing that, though.
Okay.
Honestly, it's going to depend on what we learn, what Box Ward can teach us. This goal has been to learn about the gift and to master it in some ways, and I feel like I've made some good progress there. And, well, once we have the holocron fully assembled, I think my question's going to be, who do we pass it on to? Or, even in my case, who do I pass on what I've learned to?
It's a good question.
What about you?
I don't know. I suppose I was going to cheat and ask an additional question, an addendum, as it were. And can I come too?
Of course. If that's what you want.
Yes. For now, that is what I want. So please try not to set off any more traps. And don't inhale the orange stuff.
I'll try not to. And you don't get punched anymore. How about that?
I shall endeavor to make that come to pass.
Then we have a deal.
A bargain is struck. Let's do this.
All right. I'll be here in the back. I think I've hit my daily allotment of almost setting off traps and then setting off traps.
I feel like there was a reason I asked Koba to go first.
Yes, well, Koba asked me to jump the gap, and I did so.
Jump the gap, but not jump the gun.
And definitely not the shark.
Okay, all 115 kilograms of me is going to be back here. You will just... Koba, you've got this. Trust you. Still coughing a bit. Are you okay?
I'm fine. My voice is just a little hoarse.
How can you tell?
Hey,
Honestly,
that's
couldn't tell. So our destiny pool currently is 3 light side points and 2 dark side points.
Swoop noise.
Look at me doing my job twice in a row. I've never done that in the entire run of the show.
You rhymed.
Yay.
Right. So the camera is looking up this long, long stairwell. Stairs and landings. Landings in every corner, stairs on every wall. As we go up and up and up. And then there isn't a set of stairs to the right. There's this cloud of orange. The camera keeps going up until we can start seeing the 4s. It swivels down and comes to a rest as the heroes are at level 40. At this point, I want to get an average resilience check
Oh.
off of everyone.
Okay.
That'd be an individual one. On account you just climbed 35 floors.
We just climbed up 65 flights.
Oh, 2 failure. Wait. Never mind. I got 4 light side points. 2 successes and 3 advantages. Thank you, Force.
Yeah. Skip is spry. Skip has 2 successes and a triumph. Skip is just at the top of these stairs, looking down at everyone. Are you coming?
Look, we all had to climb up a shaft before we did this.
Typical protagonist.
I tried to climb up the trail.
To be fair, Skip did try.
Koba got a success. So, Koba's actually not feeling too bad, but not as good as Skip.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Wow. And Hillary is only down 2 strain.
Okay, well, that's a lot of stairs for my little legs, but we've made it this far. Maybe I should have let Kesh carry me partway.
I keep offering.
I just, I want you to be agile and ready for anything like, I don't know, pressure plates.
You're now at the landing for the 40th floor. As you found, the landings at the 10s are a bit larger than all the other ones. It's just easier to be standing on here. There's a bit more room to spread out. Hillary's able to catch his breath.
Okay, good.
As you're looking around, does anyone look into the floor? Or are you just looking up and down the shaft?
Oh, like opening the doors into the main body of the building.
Yes, that is correct.
I think Koba probably checks, at least glances out of the stairwell at each floor just because he's paranoid.
In that case, I'm actually going to go with this is kind of easier. For doing that, I'll give it a boost, but I want to get a group perception check. It is going to be hard. I'm going to burn one of my points to make it a red and 2 purple. I'll give you a boost for Koba having taken a look. Because in general, the floors have been pretty samey.
I think Brandon should be rolling this for many, many reasons.
Yeah, I think I've got the best perception.
I was about to say at least 4 reasons.
Yeah, I also wonder, because I did get that triumph, and I kind of wonder if, the fact that I am just not winded at all at this point,
I can go with that.
Maybe, I don't know, is advantageous in some way, because I can, point out
Sure.
anything weird, because I'm all raring to go.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. Mechanically, I give it a upgrade on the check. Totally go with this hike going pretty much straight uphill. This is in Skip's wheelhouse, so you're able to be paying attention to a few more things.
Okay, so that's an upgrade from Skip, a boost from Koba being paranoid. I also have a boost for uncanny senses as a talent. Does Skip lend a boost to people normally?
For what thing are you doing?
Perception.
Oh, yes.
And then what was the difficulty, Ben?
It is 1 red, 2 purple, and a setback. Because there is still a lot of flickering, and emergency lighting sort of seems to be the go-to for this place.
Koba has 2 ranks of keen-eyed, so
All
he
right.
removes up to 2 setbacks from perception and vigilance.
All right.
But it was a nice try. And you know what? Why would I ever not roll flow? I guess when I want to roll ebb.
Mm-hmm.
Good gravy.
Well, all right, here's the thing. Tonight is apparently me rolling rolls with a lot of dice that amounts to very little. So that is just 3 advantage, so no successes. But I do have a triumph left over. The success part was canceled.
One of the things that you've been seeing is there's been a fixture on every floor. It's been some are the family floors, some of them are the more artistic, where there's been sculpture in there. There's been a few botany floors. There's even been one floor where you could see the outline of where a tank would be so that people could swim in it. Kind of like a communal swim pool, but for amphibious beings that you could actually dive completely in and breathe underwater. No water in it. Looks like the fields were turned off, but the infrastructure's there and you can make a really easy, educated guess as to what it is. All the floors going up this far have been abandoned. And it does look kind of creepy. Like every now and then you've seen spray paint on the walls. The spray paint's there and it's like fairly fresh, or you've got a few abnormally clean wall panels that are there. Like mouse droids have come up and repainted this section of wall and then not redone the entire place. For the most part, it is a empty place. You have seen on, I'm going to go with the 36th floor, one of the windows at the end of a hallway that units are on was broken out and a Kreehawk had been nesting there, but you were far enough away that it didn't alarm them. Only one of them looked up and made notice of Koba as they looked in. Then, as Koba closed the door again, they decided not to investigate. As you get to the top, as you get to the 40th floor, which is starting to get close to Zell's area, one of the things that you start to see is you're seeing more recent mobility of mouse droids. It looks more well-kept, is the best way that I can put it. Once you look in on the 40th floor, the emergency lighting's still there, but all the lighting is in place. Whereas on a lot of the other floors, it's like bulbs have been burnt out and it wasn't looking that well maintained. On the 40th floor, it actually does look fairly well maintained. It also looks like someone has turned off main power to the floor. What do you want for the advantage and the triumph?
I'm open to ideas from the group.
So you were just looking into the floor to kind of get an idea of what we would be expecting, or just kind of to compare as we were going, right?
/ keep an eye out for anything we would want to be aware of. Like, I didn't want to walk right. I didn't want to walk right past the floor where there were just a bunch of guys with blasters hanging out on the other side.
I mean, I think asking for a computer terminal might be a bit much, I guess, because this guy's Captain Paranoid.
There is a triumph on the field, though. It might be depowered or something to justify where we might have to do something to jury-rig it.
Or maybe it's a partially obscured one, like he nailed a panel over it, but you can tell it was there, and you could maybe try and break in or something.
Yeah, something like that to kind of justify why it's, it's around. It could also maybe be something like, yeah, the power's turned off here. Maybe we got lucky and one of his traps has already been set off here and we don't have to worry about it. Like, he hasn't had a chance to replace it yet.
Or maybe it's like a fuse box and we can get an idea of where all the power goes.
That's another thing. Maybe we have an easy way to restore it to the section.
I like the idea of coming across a trap that maybe has been sprung recently already. And I say recently because I think what I would like to do, if at all possible, is for us to run across not just a trap that has been sprung so we don't have to deal with it, but one that maybe constitutes a crime scene for purposes of the Sense the Scene talent that I had to buy ages ago to get to something else. I think because it was in my path to get to my force rating.
All right, I can do that, sure.
Yeah, so there's a body there or something, you can determine what exactly happened.
Yeah. Right.
I'm pretty sure that there's some way that you can use stun as a way of getting the zap guns in Stargate or something like that, where if you stun someone too much, or directly to their temple or something, it will knock them completely, utterly out, that they may not wake up from. I am figuring that there is a Crimson Kreehawk that is planted on the floor. Looks like this happened long enough ago that it's not exactly the greatest scene, but yeah, it looks like someone was exploring in the building.
Yeah, this is to clarify, one of the bikers, part of that gang, yeah.
One of the bikers, not one of the actual Silhouette 1, Silhouette 2 actual birds.
A short time ago, we saw some birds, and now we're seeing a biker. Yeah.
Now you're seeing a biker that named their gang after the birds.
Yep. Okay, so are they dead? Is that what I'm...
Yeah, I'm going to go with that they're dead.
Koba probably checks their pulse, I guess. wherever it would be on whatever species they are to verify that they're dead.
They're Nemoidian.
Yeah.
99 out of 100 people that you run across here are Nemoidian. So, yeah, they're Nemoidian. You're able to check their pulse, and you're not really able to feel it. It could be too thready for you to make out, and it could still be there, but at least from an initial check, like you've been taught for Nemoidians, no, it doesn't feel like they are alive.
Oh, I'll actually roll sense. Because I can sense life forms, so that'll tell me if they're alive or not, right?
I mean, true.
No, but I only rolled dark side pips. Is a flipping a point. I only have 4. And this would technically not only be on them, it would be everything in short range. That's not necessarily bad. Yeah. I'll flip a point and use a dark side pip to just ping with the sense power all life forms within short range.
All right. There's the ganger who is... They're on the verge of death. They aren't dead yet, but they are very close.
So they are alive. Okay.
Yeah, they are alive. And otherwise, there's a family of feral lothcats.
Ah, okay. I was like, a family? We should go... Oh, they're lothcats.
Yeah.
Can't interrogate lothcats, or can we? Skip, can you talk to lothcats?
You can certainly try. They are, in fact, cats.
They, their faces are terrifying, so I'll stay in the stairwell. Okay.
You mean adorable?
Terrifying.
Nope, adorable.
I mean, they're kind of both. They're adorable until they open their mouth the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, cats shouldn't have the same jaw span as a pit bull.
I mean, it's kind of like Hillary.
Oh, but I am adorable.
Yeah, that's true. It works. It works for Hillary in a way that it doesn't work for a lothcat, and that's just,
Probably because I'm not a cat. So you don't automatically assume that I will be a sociopath.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
It's a cat thing.
Reptiloid species are not necessarily sociopaths, whereas mammals... And I can say that because I think I'm the only mammal in the party. I think Doug's are probably mammals.
Would you have had us wait on the stoop, or are we behind you with you?
I assume this isn't too far into the floor or whatever. Is that accurate?
Correct. Let me describe this a little bit better. They're standing in front of where the turbo lift shaft is. You can see on their lower legs the sparks from a stun trap that has gone off, and they've fallen so that they're mostly off of the plate that has sparked off.
Mm-hmm.
But they were not able to get out of the way of the stun projector, and
Yeah, Koba probably would have motioned for everybody to stop long enough for him to do the sense ping. But once confirming that there weren't enemies lurking around a corner to ambush us or something, probably would have been Hillary. I think he's still alive, but only barely.
What? Does it look like he is still on a trap, or would Hillary assume that the trap is kind of a not active thing?
I'm going to go with no, it doesn't look like he's still on a trap. And I'm going to go with that the trap actually triggers a stun projector, kind of like a stun blaster.
Okay.
So
help me get him away from here, just in case something else is going on. So he's gonna kind of loop an arm under the Nemoidian's arm and kind of heave a little bit, just to get away from the entrance or the turbo lift, kind of toward the stairs, not necessarily all the way onto the stairs, but just in a slightly more open space.
As you move, you can barely make it out, but a red dot that had been on a boot of the Crimson Creehawk ganger disappears, just sort of stays in place as you slide the ganger out of the way. And as soon as the boot's completely out of the way, you hear a click and of something resetting.
Nice, that must have been a trap.
Yeah.
But you said there was a pressure plate.
There's a laser trigger.
Okay. All right. Well, Hillary pulls the guy out of the way. Koba is really focused on the tableau of this trap and everything, and all of the ways in which the scene interconnects. The little details that tell the story of what happened here and stuff. And this is because I want to roll Sense the Scene at least one time this campaign.
Gotta get that talent bingo.
Yeah, this was... I did not think I was going to get this one in, but, here we are. So Sense the Scene is an investigator talent, which once per session allows me to make a hard perception check plus force dice. And if successful, each force pip that I use can identify the emotional state of one person involved at the time, presumably. So this guy would certainly be a potential target. I would like to ask if Zell kind of counts on account of having been the person who set the trap, so he's involved. Quotation fingers.
I am going to go with yes. That is a viable target.
So let's see if I pass the hard perception check first. Got to do that. As before, I just get a boost from Uncanny Senses. I believe I'm still getting a boost from whatever it is Skip has that does that for other people.
Find awareness.
That's the one.
That does make sense, yes.
It's hard. Oh.
That's a thing.
Well, that's my good roll for tonight.
You're flowing so much.
That's not flow. That's Sense the Scene.
Oh, it's actually force.
Yeah, Sense the Scene is a force talent.
Cool.
You know
It's one of those talents
everything.
that you only get to use if you are force sensitive, but it's not technically a power. So on this, Koba got 3 successes, 3 advantage, and 4 light side pips, which means that in addition to any other details that are worth revealing that would be perceived by this that we haven't already discussed, I could divine the emotional state of up to 4 individuals involved in what happened here. I don't know if there are that many individuals involved, but I guess maybe I would be able to find out. So Zell's the first one, right?
This is a faint one, just on account of the trap itself was set years ago, like many, many years ago. But it's been maintained, and Zell does come through and check his traps because, well, what trap meister wouldn't? It starts off with Zell being about middle age, maybe a little bit older than middle age, as he comes in and sets the trap up, setting the trip line in, the stun charge that projects down from the ceiling, sets a static display so that you have to exit the turbo lift and then turn left or right, making it so that you're going through slower. It seems like he's trying to do this as professionally as possible, as quickly as possible. But as he's coming through and checking it, and you see that he comes through and comes through and comes through. Then some animals trip it, but are able to get out of the way before it goes off, and he's having to come back and reset the traps. And he has to do that a few times, and eventually he gets a bright idea to put a capacitor in there, and so that it will automatically reset when the beam is no longer triggered. But he's getting older every time that you see it. And it's one of those stop motion kind of montages where the camera's focused in on one thing, but then everything else is happening in a blinding speed as time's going on. You see Zell come through, and then eventually he starts coming through with a cane and the weathered wrinkles of well-earned age. The last time he came through and checked it, he hit a button, opened the turbo lift door, and skipped a pebble through the tripwire. and it then falls down the turbolift shaft, clanging off the walls, and the blue circles of a stun charge comes pouring down like a stunning shower. Oh, good. I should be able to take care of those kids as they meddle. They've been poking around here too much. And then starts shuffling off. You can see him turn around, get closer to one of the hallways, hits a button again, and another trap gets set off and resets. Then he goes to the end of the hallway and goes up a emergency exit stairwell. The stairwell that you've been going up is actually the main stairwell, the one that's more presentable. The one that Zell disappears and goes up, from what you can tell, is a no-frills emergency stairwell. That'd be an alternate way of getting up and down.
So what's his emotional state? That's what Sense the Scene gives me. Is he lonely? Is he fearful?
At this point, his emotional state's a lot more serene of, well, this is my place, and every now and then these kids come over and muck around in what he considers his front yard, setting off different traps here and there.
It was actually really valuable to know that he's just this old guy that we could totally take in a fight.
Because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go beat up some old guy after we invade his lawn.
We're not gonna beat him up. We're gonna hit him with a speeder.
Where are we getting his speeder?
Kesh will find one.
I'll make one with the Force.
Cash is just gonna knock him down and take his cane.
Look, that's a cruel move. Listen.
I have 3 other pips. So, emotional state of the stunned biker at the time of stunning.
Scared off of his gourd on account of he was coming up here as a pledge for the Kreehawks. He's definitely a younger one, and this is a lot more of a go into the spooky haunted house and get something. He gets in, he's getting off the turbolift, which somehow is working. This is as high as it would go. He steps out, and then all of a sudden, you're pretty sure that he's been there for like a day or so. You're just sort of teetering.
Sure.
He was up here and just scared because he was expecting something bad to happen. He had heard something like spirits or the like were happening.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd been seeing spooky stuff. He had already run into some of Zell's presence.
And then I guess with my other 2 pips, if there are a 3rd and 4th person involved, I suppose I would sense their emotional states as well. But I understand this might just be a 2-person situation, unless like the biker had like several of them and the other ones like ran away and just left their friend or whatever.
I'm going to go with that there was one other that was slow to move to get out of the turbolift and saw his friend go down, thought, oh no, he's dead, I better get out of here before I'm next.
Mm-hmm.
And slams her hand across the main floor button and then just is sort of cowering in the fetal position until the ground doors open up and they flee out.
This one's just a scared kid. Came in here in some kind of hazing.
How do you know that?
How do you make speeders move with your mind?
The scorekeeper?
Maybe your scorekeeper likes me also.
I mean, I accept that she did give me a vision where I was supposed to trust you, so...
That's all lovely. Skip, can I please use your assistance?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a little cloth? Some water, please. Bathe their brow and kind of make sure they can breathe clearly. I'm gonna see what I can do. Stun wounds they're weird. If I'm honest, not a lot of basic medicine will do anything.
All right.
Okay. Just keep them comfortable, please.
Skip is going to get clearly probably dirty cloth out of their bag. And then you had mentioned earlier that there was water Skip is just gonna dump it in. It's probably not very clean. Hands it to Hillary.
No, I'm actually asking you to do the bathing.
Oh.
Like, maybe squeeze a little water in his mouth, wipe his face, kind of. Because the Moedians are also kind of. I don't know. What is their skin? They look like they should be kind of froggy, but.
They're more reptomammals.
Wouldn't it be better if I just put him in the water rather than putting the water on him?
I don't think he's strong enough to handle that.
All right.
He's getting worked up because you said he's just this kid and he's almost dead, and Hillary's like, I don't actually know how this whole thing works, so he's just gonna kind of okay, yes, and he's gonna take the kid's hands and kind of fold them over, at the stomach, and just kind of keep his hands on top of the kid's hands for a moment. Take a deep breath and
aim.
Okay. Nice.
Oh boy.
So, panicky Hillary tries to calm and center himself, but he just keeps thinking about everything that's been going on, about this swoop bike gang that is ruining people's lives, and this horrible city that's just full of so much memory of darkness. And it's just, this is a terrible place and a terrible situation. They're going to go meet probably another terrible person, but he has to do something about this kid, and rolls 2 dark side. So, flipping that point.
How many of those dark side are you using?
I'm going to use at least one, because my magnitude and range just is magnitude for number of people. You know what? I'm going to use both. And it's going to end up being spend 1 to increase wounds healed. So I'm going to outright heal 2 plus ranks in medicine, which is also 2. So that's 4. So I'm going to heal 4.
I am thinking that should be enough for him to wake up.
Mm.
Oh, wow. What happened? Blinks his hypnotoad eyes. Looks up at you.
So the first person he's going to see is going to be Skip.
Well.
Who are you?
I'm Skip Goby. My friend here helped you out. You're not very good at sneaking, are you?
I love Skip so much.
Why would I need to sneak in an abandoned building?
Oh, you don't know. You should probably go.
What?
Mm-hmm. Are we just staring at each other awkwardly now?
Kinda. He's shaking his head, then looking and seeing Hillary, rolling onto his side, and then slowly getting up.
And remember, you didn't see anything.
No, I didn't. I thought the ghost would be here, but now it's you? What's going on?
Well, who says I'm not a ghost?
Skip!
And then he pokes Skip.
Oh.
Doink. Right in the face.
I don't think ghosts I can touch like that.
I don't know. What do you know about ghosts? Fine, go talk to my friend. I was just having fun.
Come, lad, you should probably leave the way you came, perhaps more safely. My friend here can direct you as to how to do so, and we'll probably have several questions for you. Gestures to Koba.
I don't actually have any questions.
Oh. On your way then. Off you pop.
And And be careful of the floor.
Watch your step.
Oh, and the poison gas. And watch the ladder. Just generally be careful.
You could just leave via the trash chute.
That sounds like it's going to go pretty badly. As he looks over at the garbage disposal area.
You know, whatever.
Well, how'd you get here?
And look, maybe don't join swoop gangs that send you into haunted apartment buildings.
Where you thusly almost die horribly and alone.
Have you seen my friend?
She left you.
As he's rubbing his head. Okay, how am I supposed to get down if I can't go on the turbo lift?
Stairs. And ladders.
Wait a minute, you came up the turbo lift?
And the garbage chute is pretty safe.
Yeah, I came up the turbo lift.
Take the stairs, watch your step.
Alright, fine.
I mean it.
And
Watch your step.
jams both hands in the jacket's pockets and starts going down the stairs.
Hey, one thing before you go.
Perks up as they're pushing through the stairwell door.
I know you came in here to, prove your dedication or worthiness or something. What were you trying to do? Does the gang give you an extra stripe on your jacket if you steal the ghost's tissues or something?
They would know I wouldn't be afraid, and that I could start going on runs for them.
So what, was this just like a stay in this building for 12 hours kind of thing?
Pretty much. Get a souvenir from here.
Did you find one?
I mean, that scarring is probably going to be a pretty good souvenir.
Looks between Koba and Skip, and then right next to where he's standing. He'll reach over and see where in behind a bit of scored transparent steel is a fire extinguisher with his right hand. He'll reach over and try and smash that. His hand just bounces off the transparent steel. Balls his hand into a fist, pulling it inside his jacket sleeve to make sure that it actually hits a bit harder, or feels like it will, and it cracks. I'll take this, and takes the probably well and expired fire extinguisher. And he starts slumping down.
All right, good luck.
Find
Yes.
a better job for someone who's not going to get you killed. If you can fly, you can fly a speeder, you can do deliveries. Child.
And there's probably actual authentic haunted buildings. You just have to do your research better.
Find better support. Friends. You know. I hate gangs. I hate gangs so much. Preying upon these children who have nothing better to do with their lives, telling them this is the only family they will ever know, is just... Oh.
I mean, this particular gang does seem to have a lot of issues, yes.
Sometimes it's the only place they know how to belong, though.
Where everybody knows your name. Yes.
Yeah.
They probably not necessarily didn't know his name yet, though. If they
You
were
know,
still
that's
testing him
fair.
out.
It's not a very good gang anyway.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving. We should take the emergency stairs. They're the ones that Zell uses.
I can't believe he took the turbo lift.
That's brave.
Yeah, it seemed to go pretty well up until the end there.
Yeah, that's what happened in our last turbo lift trip, too.
This is true.
Yeah, but at least at the end of that, there were scones.
As you open the door into the emergency stairs, as you're looking up in the stairwell, you can see it in the corner under where the opposing landing would be.
Ooh.
On the ceiling.
Ooh! And there's plenty of dirt. Yay! All right. And now Skip is gonna make a little dust ball to obscure the camera.
All right.
Okay. If one has 3 force rating, does that mean that they roll 3
Mm-hmm.
force dice?
You get one die per force rating.
Okay.
I think W or F will work. I think both are options.
W for sure.
All right. Well, I just needed one. Just needed one. I rolled 1 light, 2 dark, but I'm just going to use that 1 light to... I'm using what amounts to the second control level, which is giving characters within short range of me concealment, and I'm manifesting that by blocking the lens of the recording device with a little dirt cloud that I can control with my mind, with my 1 force die. Who's a wizard now? All of us.
We are the wind.
So you're sustaining it?
Yes. I don't know how long you can sustain it for. That is not clear.
I think it's like a concentration spell. You just kind of hang on to it.
Do you have the upgrade that lets you sustain it?
Yeah, there's a duration upgrade.
Yes, I have the duration. Yes.
Okay.
So yes. Okay.
Yeah, so that means you can sustain it indefinitely as long as you...
As long as I
keep a
set
die
aside
committed.
that die. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, that's what I will do.
So now, as long as everyone else does the dance of sneakiness alongside you,
Do, 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 do.
you're going up and you get to the 42nd floor, and I should get another group perception check at this point.
Enjoy my heightened awareness.
I shall.
We do. We appreciate it.
And I assume I am taking this one again.
Oh yes, because I'm not.
Yes,
very
please.
Yes. Nobody else comes close.
Blue for me. Blue for Skip. Do I get
And
any other...
because you're right up against me, it'd be two boosts actually.
Yeah.
Because we have to be all clumped in for this concealed to be working.
We're traveling in a very sneaky pod.
And difficulty, you said? Was...
This would be another one going up against his mechanics for hiding things, so it would be 2 red and 2 purple.
Do I get any boosts for assistance from anyone else?
I have 1 rank.
Both of my scores are better, so nobody's giving me upgrades.
Yeah.
So I'll go with you get the 3 boosts plus skips.
All right, so 6 boosts.
I like it.
And why not? Let's flow.
Every time you say that, I picture you doing like vibey hippie arms. Like, good gravy.
Yep.
Funnily enough, did not need the boost to succeed.
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
We'll take them, though.
Oh, yeah. And also, the boosts are there for all the advantage.
So 3 successes, 4 advantage, and a couple force pips, one of which I will use to recover a strain from myself.
Right.
Sadly, I am so... I technically, if I ever have 3 pips to use, I can recover strain from everybody. But so far, I have not been rolling well enough, because I only have 2 force rating, unlike Skip and Kesh.
Oh, good. So I'm not alone at 2.
Correct. You're not the only one. And I actually don't know. My She an Expert tree does not have a force rating in it, so I've been thinking about if I need to jump trees to get another force rating, or if I'm just happy with 2.
I mean, I can't say that's why I'm suddenly sagely or anything, but it might be related.
Oh, so that you're wanting to end up with more force pips than anyone. Gotcha.
Yes. To make my fall more tumultuous.
As you climb, you notice that the first major change that you see is that this does have holocams in it. The second thing that you notice is once you hit the 42nd floor, the doors actually seem to be alarmed. I'm not entirely certain how much further beyond the 42nd that you're wanting to go. I'm assuming you'd at least look at the 43rd to see if that's alarmed as well, which it is.
I mean, we're at the point where we're not entirely certain what floor he's set up on, so I imagine we're kind of pausing at each floor to at least poke our heads out and see if we see any sign of him. If need be, Koba will probably be pinging synths every floor or so, looking for other life forms.
With synths, you're only able to get to short range, right?
Yeah, currently I don't have any way to go beyond short range.
So I'm going to go with at least the pinging, which since you're not really able to pick up anything from them, you're able to tell this on the actual doors. It's not obvious, but you can tell, like you've gone through and seen that each of these doors are alarmed, and you're pretty sure that at least like on the 42nd and 43rd floors, they've got at least some form of trap that will go off, much like what happened with the kid. You don't trigger them at the moment so that they're in place, like you saw them before. Probably one of the other reasons why I was so happy about the boost. You're still in the stairwell. You're concealed from the holocams. The question I've got is, so you've got these two trapped doors. You could go up higher to see if more of them are trapped. The question I've got is, are you wanting to try and go into one of these floors, or...
So these are the first doors we've come across that are trapped in this way?
Yes. You've had a run of 36 floors, no traps on the doors, no alarms on the doors, no nothing. Now you get to floor 42, and all of a sudden on this, there is a alarm on the door.
These doors are trapped, not like the others.
More gas, you think?
Not sure. So far, I guess non-lethal from what we've seen, but main thing is he hasn't cared about anybody getting on any of the other floors. What's special about these? That's a rhetorical question. He probably is on one of them.
Oh, okay, good. I thought I would have to explain it to you. So how do we get by this trap? Do we need more plants?
I'll see if I can disarm it.
Okay, we'll stand back a little bit, unless you need some assistance.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got one clarifying question for you. What floor are you wanting to do this on? Because it's for the next floors to the ceiling.
Oh.
Because, yeah, you ran into the alarms on 42 and 43, but if you were to go up higher, it would also be on those floors too.
Yeah, got a lucky number between 42 and 50, Koba.
I feel like, barring any other things that are different, may as well start from the lowest one.
Okay.
Okay, 42.
That makes sense to me. Don't want to miss him.
Yeah, right, because that way, like, if we're starting from below and moving up, it doesn't give him as many ways to escape as if we start at the top, but he's below us. Then he can...
You're above the highest sky bridge going from the building. That was on 40.
Cool, okay.
So the only thing above you is building and landing pad.
All right, yeah, let's,
Okay, so 42.
try and disarm this trap.
So this would be against his mechanics, so it's 2 red, 2 purple. The guy's like great mechanics and very mediocre everything else.
Oh, that's all you need, you know?
Good computers, good mechanics.
I mean,
Other things are okay.
Those skill sets work well for Cav.
I'll do skullduggery here.
Okay. And yeah, that totally makes sense for trying to deal with this.
All right, so...
We'll toss in a boost for having to deal with one of his before.
Yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, versus 2 reds and 2 purples.
Unless you've got more.
I don't think I'm going to flip a point. We've only got 2 in the pool. And so far, he's always been using non-lethal. So I think the worst that happens is I get stunned. I'll go ahead and throw in my force dice for flow.
Okay.
Wow.
Brandon, I love every roll you've made this game.
What?
I love every roll.
Well, here's the good news. The good news is...
You have full strain?
I got 4 light side pips. So
At this point, do you have any strain left?
I do actually, because I was pretty strained from last session.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
I've gradually been chipping away at my strain. But the great thing is the first pip to activate flow to heal a strain, 2 pips to have that affect all other characters in short range instead of just me. And then the 4th pip can be healing additional strain. So I heal myself and everyone in short range of me 2 strain.
I'll take it.
Nice.
So, Koba...
So we feel real good right before you blow up.
Yeah, Koba just is into the rhythm of the Force.
Yeah, you're flowing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you also need to be into the rhythm of the electricity.
Yeah, I have 5 failures, which is the most failures I think I've ever seen.
I mean, ouch.
The most net failures anyway.
Okay. In that case, can I get a average coordination check from Koba?
Sure. Can I add boosts or maybe upgrades for the 4 advantage that I got on the roll?
I'd like you to do 2 of those into a boost.
Okay.
Or 1 into a boost. Let's just go with 1 into a boost. So it does give 3 advantages. What are you wanting to do with the 3 advantages before you try and jump out of the way as you realize that the thing's going off?
Can I draw my lightsaber?
Sorry.
Okay. What do you want to do with the last one?
Now I am out of strain. I know we're not in combat, but could I throw a boost to the next person who acts?
Yeah. So you're essentially tossing it to 2 pouncing boosts. You're taking the first one, and then someone else is taking the next one.
More or less,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Or mechanically, that's what I was thinking.
Koba realizes something is going wrong, not really in time to get out of the way of it himself, but at least in time to growl something generally in the direction of the rest of the party. Oh, okay. On that coordination, average coordination, 4 successes, 2 threat.
You're able to bounce out of the way just in the nick of time so that the shower of blue rings that come down from 3 different emitters, it almost looks like an arc of stun charges go off. You're able to jump back, throwing a foot over your eyes, and not be affected by the stun charge.
Yeah, so Koba just like backflips or something out of the way. One of his hands finding, or probably more like one of his feet, because I imagine he's going to land on his hands, finding his lightsaber in the process and igniting it for what it's worth. Just kind of reflexive, like getting into reflect mode.
All right, makes sense. The 2 threat and the 5 failure. Between the 2, I'm going to go with that there is a single wah, wah goes off, and it echoes both in the stairwell and through the open door. And the door itself has stayed open. All the other ones have those little hinge things to make sure that they automatically close.
All right, so is that to say that some sort of alarm or something went off?
Yes. Instead of the strobing alarm stuff, it's only a single tone that went off.
I guess he knows we're here. For certain.
All right. Then perhaps it's time that we introduced ourselves.
That does seem polite.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates on Twitter at The Hydian Way, and you can find me, Ben, on Twitter at Deuterium Ice.
You can find me on Twitter at Blue of the Kin.
I am at Leslet GS.
And I'm at 12th Night. That's 12th and Night with a K.
I'm Ren, over at Ren Apollo.
And we're all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes.
You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Plus, you can help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing.
I concur. We're also on Facebook as the Heidi and White. And then you can holocom us at oh my gosh, words. We're also on Facebook as the Heidi and Way, and you can holocom us at heroes@theheidiandway.com.
If you like what we do and you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/theheidiandway.
Or you can send the team some calf at ko-fi.com/theheidiandway.
I'll make one with the Force. Oh, hey, see,
Yeah.
train! We're set!
Kesh just made a train. Kesh has been investing in Conjure this entire time and didn't
Cash
tell
is just
us.
going to knock him down and take his cane.
Okay,
Look, that's
so
a cruel move, listen.
Do, 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 do.
We did totally different songs there. Which one were you doing?
It's
Mission
Mission
Impossible.
Impossible.
Oh, I was starting to do the Pink Panther.
That does seem like a good place to stop.
I concur.
Did you just say I concur?
I did.
I love it. That's a great phrase. I don't know why I love it, but I do.
We done?